What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here with Kev. We are here to review WWE Raw for October the 3rd, 2017.
Hello, that's me.
As always.
Yes, I hit the wrong button. I was supposed to hit mute.
As always, we are here to discuss the show, the wrestlers, the storylines, everything in between. Of course, the big Shield reunion, what's going to happen with that. We'll talk about that. We're going to keep this one short. There wasn't a lot that really happened on this show. So as you can tell, we're obviously not going to give it a very positive grade. Kev only watched about the good portions of the show and then skipped through the rest of it, which he should have. There's a very exciting Monday Night Football game on. And as a real viewer would, we try and take that into account. Not a lot of people would actually watch the rest of the show besides maybe 2 or 3 segments here and there because that game was awesome. So trying to take that into account, we're going to review this show real quick. So make sure you leave your reactions to WWE Raw tonight in the live chat, and we'll try and get to all those comments. We'll do one break in the middle and one break at the end to get to all your comments so we can do it the most effective way possible. If you guys haven't already subscribed to the channel for Raw reviews, pay-per-view reviews like this Sunday, we have Hell in a Cell, and also SmackDown reviews. Okay, so let's get into the show. So October the 2nd, 2017, I should say. So Hell in a Cell is this Sunday. Seth Rollins versus Braun Strowman kicks off the show. So I thought this was an interesting way to kick off the show. Obviously, this is not my favorite way of kicking off a show. As I've said multiple times, I like to have multiple storylines, like usually your biggest storyline first, get something started with that, and then multiple storylines after that within the first half an hour so that when people tune in, this is just my personal preference. Not that it's the best way to go about it, but this is my personal preference. So that during the first 30 minutes, especially when it's a 3-hour show, okay, this is happening tonight, this is happening tonight, this is happening tonight. People know, okay, when the big thing's happening, when's Reigns coming out, when's Strowman coming out, when's the Shield doing their thing, when's Finn and Bray doing their thing, so they know all that stuff in the first 30 minutes. But besides that, they have this kickoff match, which is Rollins and Strowman, which was advertised last week. I just have here quick notes on the match. I thought Rollins still has proven to me that he's not a great seller in this match, which is basically all he did all match was he was on the defensive. Braun was kicking his ass the entire match, which is the way it should go. Braun should be kicking his ass. Braun should be looking like a beast. I thought, at least they started off the show with someone interesting in Braun. Sometimes they don't do that. That's okay. But again, I don't like matches to start off. I think that Braun in this match showed off that he's getting a lot better with his facial expressions. But I think still he would be a lot more effective as a heel if they had actual faces for him to face, because right now he's a face just due to the fact that there's no great faces out there. I think he would be a lot better as just a old-fashioned heel, just the way that he looks, the way that he expresses himself in the ring, the way that he wrestles. He would just be a better heel, but he's forced into a situation where he's loved by the fans. So he kind of just wrestles like a heel, but he is a face. It's sort of a weird dynamic. But anyways, Strowman wins the match after a small comeback attempt by Rollins. I thought it was a decent match. Nothing that you really had to go out of your way to watch, but it was just Strowman kicking at Rollins' ass. Then after the match, Ambrose came out. Strowman kicked his ass too, and that's basically what happened. Kev, I know you didn't really see this, but do you have any thoughts on what I said or, how they started the show?
Well, first they did the tribute to Vegas. I did see that.
I didn't even see that, so I skipped through.
Yeah, they did. They wasn't like anything. They just did a nice stand. They had the entire roster out and said thoughts and whatever to Vegas. And I think part of it tonight was just from what I saw. I mean, there wasn't a lot of intensity tonight. I think it was a really tough night to do this. I wonder aloud if they should have canceled. But I mean, I guess I understand why they had to do it. They never cancel.
They have a show on Christmas this year. They're not canceling.
Yeah, yeah. We work every day, man. But I think it was nice to set up, because I think the story of the night was the reunion of the Shield, and it was getting to that. I'm still a little confused why the Shield need to reunite, though. Like,
The reason why they need to reunite is that Roman is doing good on his own, but Rollins and Ambrose aren't, and they've invested too much assets into them. And I also feel like McMahon is trying to pull kind of a rating stunt by having the Shield come back, because I think he looks at the Shield as something that can spark ratings, and something that in this modern day of WWE, like, that doesn't happen a lot. Like, and I also just think I think personally that it actually makes the three of them more attractive to the audience. Like, I actually think they're more interesting as the Shield. Now, I like Roman on his own, but I don't like Rollins or Ambrose on their own. I like them in the Shield. So to me, that makes two more people on the roster better.
yeah, I guess for me, what's the storyline reason that they're reuniting?
That is what's missing.
That's what's missing to me. Like, yes, I agree with you with all the Vince stuff, but I don't see it in terms of a story why these guys need to reunite. Like, let me throw a scenario out. If maybe you give the tag belts to Axel and Dallas, and they have all the belts, then I can understand that. But at this point, there's no need for them to unite. They're doing.
No, there isn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not like the Miz Taraj are like taking over Raw and they have like nobody to save them. Like, that would be the reason why the Shield come back, like almost in an Avengers sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Where like, oh, there's this big force in the WWE that can't be stopped.
Yeah.
But that's not what's happening here. But anyways, let's continue on with the show. Mickie James had a backstage segment. Thought this was kind of interesting. They at least tried something here. They had Mickie James go backstage into first she sees Alicia Fox and Emma, who are terrible at acting, and they're laughing for some reason, and it's really, really bad. And then Mickie James goes into the locker room and she sees all these old lady gifts, like a bunch of stuff like that. I thought that was kind of good. And then she goes over and she tries to find Alexa because that's who she thinks it is. But then guess who opens the door? It's Nia Jax. So that was, again, like, okay, are they friends? Are they not friends?
Yeah,
like,
I think they're trying to pull a frenemies thing.
Yeah, can you like tell me? But I'll get to what I think about this in a little bit once we get to the match. But yeah, it's just weird. I did like Alexa's makeup and hair. I said that she's not as hot as a lot of people think. But this week I thought she looked even better. So I like what she did with her hair. She kind of had even more of that Harley Quinn sort of thing, and I think it worked. And yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. So off of that, they made a match with Mickie James and Nia Jax. Then we have a Bray Wyatt promo, which was different because of the way that he sounded and the way that he articulated himself. So first off, my first note is I muted Monday Night Football for this. So there's not many people I'll mute my TV for Monday Night Football for, but Bray Wyatt is one of them. Despite all the things that's happened to him, I still love to hear him talk. So Bray is on his rocker, which is different because he's usually just standing there. And there's a lot of smoke around him, and he says, use your hands. Use your hands. Fight the man. Fight the man. Told me everything. She would never lie to me. She would never lie to me. She would never lie to me. And then it just goes off the screen. And it was pretty crazy. Like, it was pretty different. Like, it was just cryptic and stuff like that. I thought it was good. And the way that he delivered the lines of it, I felt different. It felt different from regular Bray Wyatt. I don't exactly know how to express that, but it seems like, and we'll see it later, that they're going maybe in a slightly different direction from the Bray Wyatt character. Before, he was sort of this god character that everybody doesn't really like, to now maybe a different character. So we'll see what happens.
It sounds like they're going back to what worked for Bray earlier, which was a human being in a rocking chair that was a cult leader.
Yes. So that's what it seems like, and it was very cool. So after that, we then have another great talker on the mic. Elias got a promo. He says, just the typical thing. I would rather drown myself than live here. Because they're a mile high from water, that stuff. Okay. And then I just really like Elias's just commenting on his skills. I think he has great expression in his voice. He has very good pacing and delivery, and he knows when to like hit the punch, like right when you need to express it the most. He does that. And that's rare. Not a lot of wrestlers are very good at that, but he's very good at that. He then says, I got a song to sing. The song was actually good. He's actually a good singer. He's actually a good guitar player. And it's funny because I wrote the note here. The song is now on iTunes. It's not really, but it should be. Any comments on either of those things, Kev?
Didn't see it, so I can't comment. Elias is typically good. I'm just off the top of my head a little concerned about, and I'll have to go back and watch this. The whole concept of Elias saying he's drowning himself after, it feels tone deaf to me after Vegas. Now maybe it wasn't even a little bit sensitive, but
it's still. I think you're being sensitive there because it didn't say like he was going to shoot himself or anything like that.
Okay,
so.
I didn't see it, so I can't comment. But that was my first reaction.
Okay,
and the comments can tell me I'm wrong. I will accept.
We have Titus versus Elias. Who cares? I wrote. Elias wins.
Titus hasn't wrestled in a while.
Yeah. He was wrestling because I think they're trying to do some story with Titus, Paulo, and Elias. So who cares? Elias should be doing bigger and better things, in my opinion. They then have Nia Jax wrestling Mickie James with Alexa Bliss, of course. And this is what I think is going on with Nia. And I think this is a good way to move Nia. I think that she shouldn't be the frenemy of Alexa, but I think she should be used as the muscle. Because Alexa is small, obviously. Alexa is a conniving heel. She is a interesting personality, but she's not big and she's not intimidating in that way. But if you give her like a muscle or like a character, like a bodyguard to use, I think that could even add another layer to her character. Now, for some people, it doesn't work and they just look like a chicken shit heel. But for me, I think this would really work with Alexa. And I think it would also get over Nia because I think it would give her something effective to do. And I think she would have her moments where it's very interesting and very fun. She also doesn't have to talk a lot. So that's good. So what happens here is that Mickie James does end up winning the match, actually. And there's no heat for the heels in this match, which I didn't like. So, again, this was only used for Mickie James to get her title shot. But everybody and their mom and their cat and their dog knew that Mickie James was going to get a title shot. But anyways, no heat for the heels. Mickie wins. And then Alexa gets owned outside the ring after Mickie is, like, laid out outside the ring. And then she, like, counters Alexa and, like, lays her out. So it was an interesting situation, Kev. You probably shouldn't go back and watch it, but if you do, you probably be on the same lines as me. No heat for the heels, and that's ineffective for me. And I just thought it made Alexa look dumb.
Yeah, that sounds like what's going on. Yeah, and we knew the Alexa Mickie match was coming. I like the idea of the bodyguard. I think that's an interesting idea.
That's kind of the vibe I got from tonight, but I also think that would be the most effective way to go about it. After that, they have an Enzo interview and the great brilliance of WWE. They have Enzo, who's been talking nonstop about how great he is, and he will later tonight. He sits there and says nothing for 10 seconds, and then the interview's over. Yeah, that's the character to have someone say nothing with. Great. Okay. Then you have a Mickie James interview. A lot of interviews tonight. Charlie has a new look tonight. She was wearing a white dress shirt. You could see her bra underneath, which was not terrible. And you have she had the breast awareness breast cancer awareness pin on and that stuff, and she had that whole outfit going. I thought she looked very good. And it was a different look. And Mickie James is like talking about her opportunity and how she just beat Alexa and how she should be like #1 contender. And I'll let Kev try and finish what happens in this segment.
She comes up to Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle comes up to her.
Kurt Angle comes up to her, and Mickie goes, and Kurt says that there'll be a match either next week or at pay-per-view.
Yes, you are correct. Ding, ding, ding. Mickie James is the new #1 contender according to Kurt Angle. And for some reason, Mickie gets extremely excited like she's never had an opportunity for the... Like, she's like...
Yeah.
Like, it was weird. Like, it was like, you're a 6-time champion. You should, like, know what it's like. But anyways. Okay. Are we halfway through?
Probably. Sure.
How about we just finish all this dumb stuff and then get to, like, the good stuff? All right?
Okay.
After that, we have Matt Hardy and Jason Jordan versus the Club. Who cares? Another comment, what's the story here with Jason Jordan, Matt Hardy, and the Club? The Club wins. Who cares? Next, we have a Roman Reigns interview, and it was just him hyping up the Intercontinental Championship match. Nothing of substance. So again, who cares? We have a Dana Warrior promo. This was about breast cancer awareness. Again, we have Dana Warrior, which... Yay. Yeah.
Shouldn't Reigns... Can we go back to Reigns just for a quick second here?
Yeah.
This is an interesting thought, but after Cena buried Reigns about the U.S. title, shouldn't Reigns be all like, yeah, I want that IC title and I'm going to prove everyone wrong?
What do you mean?
Well, he said the whole Cena promo was, I used the U.S. title as an opportunity. You took it as a demotion.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's what they're doing. My thing is with this breast cancer awareness thing, why don't they have the women superstars out there doing this? Why is Dana freaking doing this?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll find out for you, though.
Okay, thanks. Miz and the Miztourage versus Roman. This was definitely the best match of the night. No question. Miz and Miztourage came out through the crowd like the Shield. Thought that was kind of good. Roman looked like right off the bat, ran down to the ring, really explosive, hit some Superman punches, hit some nice moves on the outside. I just thought it was fun to watch at the beginning of the match. Then Roman took a chair, was beating the crap out of the Miztourage on top of the stage. That was good. I really liked the cut to commercial where Roman was looking really angry, was like running down to the ring, and it cut to commercial as the Miz was looking like at Roman. Miz was in the ring and Roman was running down to the ring, and it cut to commercial. I thought that was actually good. I thought it was a good match. It was intense. The crowd was definitely into it. And the match kind of gets resolved because Sheamus and Cesaro screw over Roman for no reason. So they get disqualified. I don't know why they were there. Like, is something happened that I've missed between Cesaro and Sheamus and Roman?
Well, they're still in the tag team championship mix. So I guess that's part of it. And
But
I guess
like, what does Roman have to do with this?
Well, this is the tease to the Shield reunion.
Yeah, but like, why though? Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't know strategically why you would go after Ambrose and Rollins' former buddy. Like if you know,
but like, why is Cesaro and
Dylan and Adam were like a unit, and then you split up, and then you guys kind of got back together.
Which,
but
by
Adam
the way, would
didn't.
never happen. By the way, never.
No, of course. But then I attacked Adam. It would make sense for me to attack Adam. But anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That made no sense to me. Like, why is Cesaro and Sheamus attacking Reigns? What's their beef?
Well, I think from the other thing to think about though is if you're doing the Shield reunion, who is going to be the opponent? And if it is the Miztourage, that's not a real credible opponent. A Miz, Sheamus, Cesaro could be better. But
can I have a reason?
Yeah, I know. You need a reason.
That's a problem for me. There's no reason. It just happened.
Yeah.
There was Shield chants while Roman was getting beat up. They were saying Shield, Shield, Shield. And then Miz hit the skull crushing finale, got some heel heat in the segment. So I thought overall the segment was good. I just need a reason why it happened. That's it. Okay. After that, we have a Finn Balor in-ring promo. Oh, yippee-ki-yay. Can't wait for this one. So Finn Balor says, he talks for a while, but I only put it on a few words. He says, you can make all the excuses you want, Bray, but you're afraid. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, who is afraid of this 5'9" guy with a freaking black jacket? Are you kidding me? So he says, you're afraid of me. He says that, you lost to the demon, you lost to the man, you're afraid, just admit it. And then Bray comes on the screen and he says, bring your demon. Abigail is alive. She is dying to meet you. And then Bray's face goes like all crazy like mode. That was really cool. And then he just started Joker laughing to end the segment. I thought that was really cool. And yeah, Bray had another good promo here. What'd you think of this?
I didn't see it, so.
Oh, you didn't see it? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, you definitely should see it. It was weird. Like, they kind of had like Bray said his speech, and then like this like scarecrow mask almost like came over his face, like animated kind of thing, and like I don't know. And it just, and then he started laughing. It was weird. It was like almost the like what Abigail would look like. I think that's what they were going for, and it was like over his face. You have to see it.
Okay, I'll have a look at it. But who is going to play this girl, Abigail?
Actually, somebody said that Paige should play Abigail. And I said, I'd love that, but no, it's not going to happen.
I don't want Paige to do that. But it actually kind of makes sense. She's coming back.
Is she actually?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, I haven't been reading these dirt sheets.
Well, the rumor, yeah, she's supposed to be coming back, so I guess it would make sense if it is her, but I don't want her to do it. Unless
I mean, she has the look.
That's true, she does.
And maybe they just want to redo her entirely. Like,
yeah, it makes sense. I mean, she could do it.
Yeah, she could do it. She can talk. I mean, and she's white as hell, so definitely could work. But I don't know. Like, you definitely need someone that's very charismatic, that can talk, that has a certain look. So, okay. Let's get to, like, my thought was, like, Nikki Cross, I think, would be great, but she's obviously already taken in that regard. So, okay. Let's get to the comments before we get into some of the bigger stuff here. WWE Boy says, I honestly didn't even watch, like, about half the show, even though it was on my TV. TMB says, what the hell was Charlie wearing tonight? You didn't like it? I thought it was interesting, but I liked the little bra underneath. Lance says, I didn't see it, but you are reviewing it, so I don't need to watch it. Good job, Lance. Good job. WWE Boy says, I saw a guy in the front row with a sign that said NFL sucks. Well, WWE sucks. Get a clue, kid. WWE Boy says, I only saw a few things on this episode. Most of it I didn't watch. I thought you just said that. Lance said, or was that someone else? No, he literally just said that. TMB says, what's Braun doing at TLC? That's only in 2 weeks, and he has no storyline unless he's going to go squash Enzo.
He might be in the Shield match.
Who would it be?
So you're probably going, you could go.
Can I ask a question? Where's Samoa Joe?
He's injured.
Oh. How long?
A couple more weeks at least.
Okay. I forgot about that completely.
What you could do, this might be an interesting way to pull this, is the Miz manages, instead of getting in the ring, he's in the corner of Braun and the bar. and the Shield takes them down before they face the Miz Taraj at Survivor Series.
That would be good. I'd be down. WWE Boy says Roman and Miz feud, and I guess Braun is good on Raw. Huh? It'd be dope if Brock comes back. Who is the main champion on the damn show? Just to continue the Brock versus Braun feud. Tyler thought that the Mickey segment was funny. TMB says, I lied. The Mickey segment I thought was comical, and I'm glad that there's actually a story in the women's division. Well, they had one story segment. Tyler says Bray Wyatt's promos are always great. I agree. He says a lot of people don't agree with me on Bray. I think a lot of people agree that he's very talented. I just think a lot of people are not with us in terms of the company obviously doesn't see him the same way because they continue to make him lose and people just give up on him because of that, like Kev. Tyler Jones says Elias was awesome.
It is Paige. You can clearly see it.
It is?
Yes, I clearly think that is Paige.
Wait, can I see the picture? Can you put it up or something?
I'll send you the link. Because if you look,
did you listen to it or did you just watch?
I watched and I was listening to the comments, of course, not to the thing. What are you talking about?
I meant, were you listening to the video?
Yes, but I was listening to you more. But when I did fast forward to that end, I DM'd you it. But if you look closely, it's Paige. It's clearly Paige.
Clearly, okay. Like it. So that's gonna be good for Bray. It's gonna be great. How do you feel about Bray now if that happens?
I'll wait and see. I think that this was from what I'm seeing here, this is a revamp of a guy that he's going back to what worked. This godlike character wasn't working. This could work.
Do you think that he should win then against Finn?
We should have won last week.
I know, but do you think he'll win this last match?
Well, I think he'll have to. Here's a fun fact. Yeah. It was 20 years ago this month that Kane debuted in Hell in a Cell. And now...
So, Sister Abigail. It's gotta be Abigail!
Yeah.
I would pay for that.
Yeah. I would too.
WWE Boy says, I feel like Elias promos are getting better and better every week. The guitar drifter gimmick and character works for him. I like this guy. He can really sing good. Where the fuck can I buy his album? TMB says, I won't be all in on Elias until he faces Slapnuts Jeff Jarrett with all the stroke from the late WCW.
That'd be funny, but that's not going to happen.
WWE Boy says, also his promos are funny too, even though he's a heel. I think they can be funny, but if the writing was better, he would be way funnier. Because he is funny naturally, but I just feel like the writing isn't always good. TMB says, I don't know if you've heard, but Nia is not like most girls. Yes, I have heard.
I've heard that too.
Katana gives us $5. Thank you, Katana. He says, sorry for coming in late. Raw was boring overall, but I'm interested in the Shield and Bray / Sister Abigail. TMB says, Mickey was so excited because since she's going against Alexa instead of jobbing to that overrated Asuka at TLC.
Yeah.
TMB.
I wonder
who's going to face her? Sasha Bailey?
No, you can't do that.
Emma?
Probably Emma.
TMB says, one, not a Dana or Ultimate Warrior fan, and two, the entire women's division is all jolly and happy one segment after fighting.
Yeah, that's awkward, eh? I mean, you're kind of Mickey James is all professionally supposed to smile, and then with this important thing, and then you have her coming back, and it's kind of weird. I agree with it like that.
Redman 27 thinks that Sister Abigail is just Bray in face paint.
Well, no, it's always been promoted as a woman.
Yeah, it has. What if it was JoJo?
That would be hilarious.
I would love that. TMB says, at the end of Bray's interview, I think he learned how to use the Snapchat filter. That was a good joke. I like that one.
Not bad.
WWE Boy says, Roman versus Miz was awesome. I don't give a what anyone says. I enjoyed the match. I hope Roman wins. Oh, by the way, guys, I got what I call the Mark Killer shirt in at home. I don't have it yet, or I would have worn it. But it's called the Mark Killer. It's a Roman Reigns baseball shirt. You guys will see it very soon. W Boy says, I agree, Mitch. Who in the goddamn living hell is afraid of little Finny Balor? Katana says, could we be seeing Paige come back as Sister Abigail? Tyler says, what do you think Sister Abigail would look like? I kind of described that. Nikki Crosswell Player says, Redman. Nikki Bella could be Sister Abigail. No.
Didn't you bring that up?
Who?
You did. Didn't you bring up Nikki Bella's Sister Abigail?
When did I bring that up?
I thought you did. Maybe it was someone else.
I just wanted Nikki to be on my TV screen. She's in Dancing with the Stars right now, though.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't watch that show. I've considered it, though, because she's on it. They want to remake her career entirely, so they want us to forget Paige existed. No, but, I think they don't want Paige. I think they want her to be a different person entirely. That's what I mean. I think it's going to be Paige existed. Now it's Sister Abigail. She did a porno. She became Sister Abigail. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Any other comments? A lot of comments. Okay. Where can I buy the Mark Killer shirt? Well, I don't know. I might actually make a shirt called Mark Killer, but that's what I'm calling my Roman shirt from now on. Right now. Okay. Let's get to the rest of the show, and then we'll get to your remaining comments after that. Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Alicia Fox and Emma. Who cares? We have then an Enzo promo, which I thought was going to end up ending the show. So Enzo comes out, and again, I love his outfits. I love that they're always different. I love that it's always unique, and that's Enzo every time. Something that not a lot of wrestlers do. He was still selling his injuries, when he was walking to the ring and when he was in the ring, he was still selling it. He says, sorry?
Yes, from last week.
Yeah. He says to the Cruiserweight division, go to hell. He says, all you guys are Fugazis. I didn't take every note down because that's impossible for this segment.
It's a long promo.
Yeah, he says that he's made the 205 the main event 2 weeks in a row. How you doing? He says that he's the public enemy number one. He says that all these people were just chanting, you deserve it, you deserve it. I like the way that he made fun of that. And then you see kids in the crowd still doing, you deserve it, like a bunch of freaking marks. And then after that, you have him talking about his money, making money, earning the money. He talks about how he's a star. I just love the way that they're letting him do this. He says he's got the skills. He's charismatic, all this stuff. He says my back hurts, but that's probably from carrying this division. He says, you fools, put your hands on me, and you're all of you are gonna get fired. None of you can touch me, or else. And all the people, all the wrestlers are out there at this point. So Neville comes out with all the cruiserweights, and then basically Enzo is surrounded by all the cruiserweights. They're all around him in the ring, and he just goes around to every single one of them and makes fun of them. So there's some amazing lines. Again, I couldn't take all of them down, but he says to Woods that he's MC Hammer. You can't touch this. He says to the guy with the stash, the ginger guy, he says that he's the 1930s paper boy. He said to Alexander that he was wearing, because he made fun of him like it was a speedium. He said that he was wearing a Speedo, but a medium size. So he's saying that. I thought that was funny. I was just laughing along with all his jokes. Then Angle comes out after Enzo goes on and on and on, and he says, none of this applies to the newest member of the Cruiserweight division that I just signed, Kalisto. And I'm like, really? This is the way we're going to end Raw tonight? Kalisto? Like, yeah, I said Kalisto should be in the freaking division like 18 years ago, but now it's not even relevant or interesting to me anymore. I thought I put this terrible way to end a show, having like Kalisto come out and beat him up and having the Cruiserweights last segment again. I understand it's a storyline, but at least at the end, we actually got something good, which was the first cliffhanger in God knows how long. Dean.
But hold on. Before we get to this, I do want to comment on something here.
Okay.
Because to me, what you're building to with Enzo is the guy that beats him is not in the division yet, and it's obviously not Kalisto. And
Wait,
I think
that
the guy that beats Enzo is not in the division yet. We haven't seen him.
Who do you think he is?
Well, I'll throw one name out that might be interesting, Johnny Gargano. There was an idea out there that if you put Gargano versus Enzo, Gargano could almost beat him, even not necessarily beat him, but almost beat him. And you bring back Ciampa and you do that Gargano Ciampa feud on WWE instead of NXT, because that would be a really good feud.
If they actually give them a story to work with, and they just don't rely on them putting on matches.
Let me throw another one out there because Scott Dawson gets hurt. The other guy from the Revival.
Is he a cruiserweight?
I think he is.
I say Finn Balor.
That's actually, there's a lot of people talking about that idea. You put Balor in the cruiserweight.
They should, because he is one. He would be way more cool in the cruiserweights. I'd actually probably like him in the cruiserweight division, because that's where he belongs. He's not a freaking heavyweight wrestling Brock Lesnar.
But the whole entire point, and people talked about how Enzo buried that division last week.
Enzo's making the division.
Well, he buried everyone else in the division, but the fact of the matter is the division was going nowhere. Yeah. And it's almost like they're trying to revamp it with Enzo. We'll see if it works. I'm still skeptical. I like when Enzo's
I like that they have a story within like the whole thing. I think it's cool. I like it. Yeah. Enzo versus the world.
Yeah.
I like it so far. I thought the promo was really good by Enzo. You know, a little long, but that's kind of the point of it, to be honest. Kalisto, again, I gave you my thoughts. Dean, Roman, Seth at the end of the show, they have this whole thing where no one says anything, but they all look at each other, and it's kind of like, okay, yeah, we're probably back now. So that's how you end the show right there. That's how you end the show. No one says anything. It's just a little bit of a cliffhanger for next week. What's going to go down with the Shield, Kev?
Gee, I would, you know what? I would keep this going until, I would not reunite them until near the end of, what's the next one? TLC? If you put them in the main, it's likely the main event, whoever they're facing. And then you have Ambrose and Rollins out until like 2 minutes left in the show and you bring in Reigns. I think that would be a great way to do that. That's how I would do it. I would keep teasing it, but I wouldn't push it. Although we know it is going to happen. But I think you can string that out for a really long time and people would be like, and people will follow for it. So
interesting. I'm kind of excited to see it. I'm not going to lie.
It'll be intriguing.
Yeah.
The other way that you could do this, and people are not going to like my idea, but I'm going to toss it out. Because, I mean, if you reunite them, I mean, obviously you're building to a feud anyway between one of them. What you could do is reunite them, but have Reigns turn on them. Instantly. He could be like, fuck you, I've been in 3 main events without you. I don't need you guys.
That would be good.
That would be a perfect way to turn Roman heel if you want to do that.
They might, considering if they have that Cena match at Mania again, or if they have Brock. I don't know what they want to do, but I don't think they will. And I think their reasoning is actually kind of sound because, I mean, it's not. I would probably have him be a heel, but like at the same time, people are gonna hate him regardless. People are gonna cheer him regardless. So I don't even know if there's a point of turning this guy heel.
Yeah,
He's just Reigns.
Yeah. But even Enzo's heels turn, he got a lot. He's getting a lot of cheers. It's tough to say
because he's not clearly a heel.
Yeah.
Because people still like him.
Yeah.
So, but that's all we got, I guess, for this review. I think we spent a fair amount of time considering what happened on this show, and we went through a lot of stuff because there is a couple things to talk about. Of course, Abigail, Shield, Enzo. So those were the main things. I hope you guys enjoyed. What would you give this episode of Raw from what you saw?
I really can't give it an effective grade because I only saw 2 episodes. I'm sorry, everyone. I will watch more next week. It's been kind of a hectic day.
And does Kev want to host next week?
There may be a rumor that there is a rumor I may host next week. I've heard a rumor about that.
Oh, okay. I think we might give Kev a shot at that little hosting gig. We'll see. He's been working hard here on the Bottom Line View. We'll reward him with some more work. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. I will give this show I don't know. There was some like things that made you think, but like nothing was like. It's a hard show to grade, but I would say that it was I'm gonna say it was a 6 because I'm actually intrigued for some things. So I'm actually going to give it a pass, even though I thought the show itself, if you just take the show itself, it's probably like a 3. But with the things that I'm excited for, I would give it a passing grade. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to the Raw review for October the 2nd. I have to change everything. 2017. This Eastern time zone's got me messed up. Thanks, Kev. Thank you guys for watching. Like the video. Peace.